when you are the guy that does the show and you're the guy that's the talent booker, you've got to do two jobs at one time. Hold on one second. Let me just do this. Hold on one second. Yeah. Okay. Trying to get this together here. Yo, what's happening? You gotta have X go into somewhere that's quiet, and you gotta put it. Tell him to bring the phone close to him so we can hear him, because he's far away. I'll wait for you. Just go inside. I'll wait for you. I'll talk for a little while. Just find a quiet spot. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, cool. Yes. So X is here. We just got to get him to a place where he's doing what he got to do. KC Carlton 9. To get it right would mean that he has to go inside the house. That's what I said. I said, bro, go inside the house. I just called the man. I'm not showing y'all DMX phone number. Y'all can forget about that. But I told the man, go in the house. Chinese Jams, how are you feeling? R. Wallace 804, do your thing. Let's see here. Okay, there we go. So we're just trying to pull it together. OMG LZTO, Big Ali Official. What's happening, Big Ali Official? How are you doing, sir? You know I love you. Okay, we're going to try this one more time and see what's really, really good. See if we can turn it around, see what's happening, see what's popping. Listen, I don't know what's going on with us. We know good. What's happening?
I can barely hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you.
What's good with you, man? How you feeling?
I'm good, man. Life is good. God is great.
That's what I want to hear, man. I'm going to introduce DMX properly. To me, DMX is one of my top 20 rappers ever to ever grab a mic, and there's a couple of reasons. We'll get into that momentarily. I've known for at least 20 years, anywhere from 20 to 25 years. The two things that come to mind when I think about DMX are the following. The first time I ever met DMX, he came to Hot 97. He came to Hot 97 and had a dog with him. Had a dog with a record promoter named Mike Kaiser.
Yeah.
DMX walked into the studio. I was the first person he saw before Funkmaster Flex. Mike Kaiser said, "Fat Man Luke, this is the dog, DMX." And DMX said to me, I said, "What the fuck are you doing? What the fuck is this?" And then the dog bit me, and I was like, "Oh shit, whatever." He said, "Yo, this is X, this is the dog." And you walked into Funkmaster Flex's studio, and you gave us the record, "Get At Me, Dog."
Yeah.
2 weeks later, that record was a record. The second major memory I have of DMX is he has a choker on around his neck. How old that choker is. But one day, myself and DMX were talking.
Dog chain. It was a dog chain.
Right, it was a dog chain. And
Yeah.
Yep. And we were talking one day, that me and you were talking, and you were talking about when you were in the Tunnel nightclub, and somebody came up to you and said, "Yo, I want that chain." And you took the chain off your neck. You took the chain off your neck, you wrapped it around your head.
I don't remember anybody ever asking for something that I had on. It would have been a situation right then and there.
You told me that you took the chain off your hand, off your neck, and wrapped it around your hand, and you put it in the.
That sounds like something I would do, but I'm pretty sure nobody ever asked me for anything I had on. Like I said, especially then, I always had at least 30 niggas with me. Nigga couldn't even get to me to ask me for anything back then.
To me, I don't know if I remember that story vividly. I don't know what happened. I don't know if you said it or whatever, but when I heard that story, when you said that story, it just reminds me of everything that DMX stands for. You want this, wrap it around your wrist and say, well, how bad do you really want it? And whatever happened, in the story that you told me, the dude walked away, all the dudes walked away. And that's just what DMX is about to me. I also have you in my top 50 MCs for a couple of reasons. Number one, you changed the music business by dropping 2 albums in one calendar year. That was something that had never been done before.
Right.
Was that your idea to do, or did Def Jam come up with that?
It was Def Jam's idea to drop the second album, because the first album was still doing big numbers. You know what I'm saying? And then Leo was like, "Yo, if you could, record another album in 30 days, I give you $1 million. And back then, it was like, what? Like, nigga, I'm sitting on another album. It's nothing. And so I knocked it out. But see, the downside to that was that after I dropped that album, they sold the label. And, like I just felt like they sold me.
Right.
Because, Leor had told me, from his mouth, he said, like, yo, I inspired him to continue doing what he was doing. And then for him to tell me that, he lost his love for it, but that I inspired him to continue to do it, yo, that made me poke my chest out. You know what I mean? I was like, that's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. And then when they sold the label, I'm like, damn, like, but it wasn't anything to stop me from doing what I was already doing. You know what I mean? Put out that music, doing them numbers, because I love what I do. I love what I do. And that was just a part of that,
She'll be over there next to that.
Do you think that they pushed you to do the album as something that would make it more attractive for other labels to buy them?
Pretty sure it was, but like I said, it really didn't matter because I'm gonna do what I do. It's just making music, bang them joints out, crank them out, and it's coming from a real perspective.
I'm from Harlem, and I always saw you in Harlem. I always saw you in Harlem.
Yeah.
I always saw you riding around with the bike. Who was the person whose idea it was to connect bike culture with DMX?
To do what?
To connect the bike culture, riding bikes, ATVs, and all of that. DMX.
That was why. That was why. Joaquin, CEO of Rough Riders. That was his idea. And I'm with reckless shit all day. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, yeah, that's what you want to do? Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. A lot of people don't know that the scene from the Joker, when you're on the steps dancing, we did that in the Anthem video 20 years ago. You know what I mean? 20 years ago. On them same steps, had a nigga ride up and then down. You know what I mean? Like, we had that location already.
When I think of DMX, these are the things that I always think of. I think of manly. I think of fearless. I think of unafraid. I think of do it solo. Has there ever been something that I think of certain things? I think of someone who's never afraid. I think of someone who stands by himself on his own, and I think of somebody who is strong. Is there?
Well, let me say this. I'm not gonna say that I've never been afraid. I'm not gonna say I've never been afraid because I have been afraid. You know what I mean? And to this day, the thing that I'm afraid of the most is not being me. And when it comes to standing on my own, it might have looked like I stood on my own, but I never stood alone. I never stood alone. I always stood with the streets behind me. You know what I mean? And as long as I stood, they stood with me. So I was never on my own. Ever.
What is the one thing that actually scares you? If there was one thing that you would say that scares you, what would it be?
I told you the one thing that scared me was not being able to be myself. Because a lot of people don't understand fame is a monster. Fame is a monster. Fame is something that'll have you not being yourself. Fame is something that'll have you acting different and being different and being okay with that. I never wanted to be okay with not being me. I never wanted to be tricked into being someone else and not being the person that I am, because the person I am is what got me to where I'm at.
I always, when I every interaction I had with you, everything that we've ever done together, whatever it is, you've always been authentic. I can say that. You've never been Hollywood. You've never been on no bullshit. You've never been, I hit you later and then call and the number is the wrong number. That's the one thing that I 100% say. You're also a man who talks about God openly and freely in an industry where that's not really cool to do that. What made you be able to be open and talk like that to show your faith?
Well, I mean, like you said, in an industry where, that's not often talked about, I've never been an industry person. I just happen to be a nigga in the industry. And there's a big difference. There's a big difference, you know? So, like, what got me to where I'm at, I had to keep it with me. And it's not so much that I'm a religious person, I'm a spiritual person. I have a relationship with God. I mean, and when I'm at my lowest, my faith is the strongest. And I people don't understand why that is, because like it's that those times when God can show up and get you through the roughest times you've ever been through. When you're all right, hey, who do you need? What, you know, you think you don't need anybody or anything, but it's when you're at your lowest that you realize you need something to get you through. And God was always there.
At what point did the presence of God become strong in your life? When did you actually find God? When was it? At what point?
I mean, as far back as I can remember, God has been, you know, in my life in one way or another.
Nice glasses, Daddy.
Nice glasses? Yeah.
How you doing?
Yeah. Say what up. Nigga said what's up and walked up. Yeah. That's Exodus. And I mean, as far back as I can remember, man. My mother was a Jehovah's Witness. My grandmother was Baptist. When I went to the institutions, you know, I was Protestant for a minute, I was Catholic for a minute, and I got locked up. I took my shahada, I was Muslim for a minute, and it's like I gained a well-rounded knowledge of each religion. And picked the one that best suited me. You know what I mean? The one I felt was like the realest.
Okay. It's said that the people with the dirtiest past become the best servants for God. Do you believe that? And do you see yourself?
I'm a walking, breathing, living example of that. If you don't go through something, how can you expect to help somebody else get through something? It's not by words alone. It's by experience. You know what I mean? And God will allow you to go through something just to be able to use you to help someone else get through something, to bring them to Him. And man, like if I had to look back and change anything, I wouldn't change a thing. I wouldn't change anything, because the hardest times I've been through was the times that I was able to see that God was there for me. When everything was going good, what was that? I wasn't looking for nothing. But it's in my darkest times when I had the least amount of anything that I became aware of what God was willing to do for me, because that's when I needed something to happen.
You know, I watched 2 weeks ago. I was with my girlfriend. Your sermon, it hit me in my soul. Like, I watched you do that. It hit me in my soul. And originally, when you were going to come on, I asked you to do that. You can't just do it with the cuff. It has to hit you.
No, it's not that I can't. It's that I won't, because I respect it too much. I respect it way too much. God put it in my heart to do that at that time. And the word says obedience is better than sacrifice. So before you give God what you think He wants, how about you just do what He asked you to do? And He asked me to do that at that time. And I ain't gonna front, I was nervous. You know, the butterflies in my stomach, just like before I get on stage. You know, I didn't know how it was gonna turn out, but I'm like, well, you know what? God asked me to do this. So I did it. And I will only do it when He asked me to do it.
So that was going to be my next question. Would you ever consider having your own service, kind of like Kanye with the Sunday service? Or that's just absolutely not.
See, the thing about that is like to put it on a day to say, all right, this day I'm going to get touched by God. To me, it don't make sense. It's whenever you get touched by Him, then speak it, then do it. You know what I mean? You know, you're not going to get it like that. It's not going to happen. Oh, every Sunday God's going to talk to me. That don't even make sense. And when He does talk to me, trust me, I will pass it on.
The first thing that came to my mind when I saw it, let me explain something. People, if you have not seen X do this sermon, you need to go find that on Google or whatever. It's powerful. It hit me in my soul. The question that I wanted to ask you, but I couldn't get in touch with you at the time was, do you feel like we're in the end times with coronavirus? Do you feel like coronavirus is...
Okay. All right. See, this is how I'm explaining that. The minute we're born, we're dying. The minute we're born, we're dying because we're taking step towards our death. Nobody knows when it's actually going to be or simply going to be, but the minute you're born, you're dying. So, of course, when you look at it like that, yeah, we're moving towards the end of days. Nobody knows how many days we have left or what's going to happen to end our days, but yes, we're definitely going towards the end of days.
Okay, because for me, when I look at this, I see coronavirus, I see dudes talking about microchip, and to me, microchip ain't nothing but the mark of the beast. Where they live. When I look at this, the coronavirus, I see them trying to throw microchips on you, which is the mark of the beast. I'm not about the mark of the beast, so that's why I'm feeling like it's the end time. I just want to know.
Coronavirus is that's not going to be the end of the world. That's not going to be the end of the world. That's not going to be the end of the days. That's not going to be the end of the man. It's just something to make you aware of how fragile life is. And like I said before, it's during the most difficult situations that you become aware of what God is willing to do for you. We've lost some, but there with God. So is that really a bad thing? I mean, we're human. So, of course, we're going to hurt when people that we love die, pass on. But they're in a better place. If we look at it along those lines, we'd be happy for them. We only hurt because we're going to miss them, because we're not going to see them again. But if you have that spiritual relationship with God, then you know you're going to see them again. You know you're going to see them again because ain't a motherfucker that's been born that ain't died yet.
That's true. That is 100% true.
We're all going to get there. We're all going to get there. What determines where you go is how you live your life. What you do with the gifts that God gave you. What you do with them.
See, for me, and people, just in case you're just tuning in, we're talking to DMX. I do this every night on Instagram Live at 7 p.m. Celebrity news, interviews, of course, people like DMX, news, gossip, everything. I looked at my personal opinion when they started pushing that they wanted to do the micro pool and instant sweeten and this.
Say it again. I can hear you.
When they started pushing for the last 6 to 8 weeks, they've been pushing the microchip. Oh, you can go here and you can have the microchip in your skin and you can get in the door and you can turn your arm.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about that, dog. I don't know nothing about that.
That's what
my walk is amongst the people. My walk is amongst the people. My talk is to the people. All that other shit that they're doing, I'm not worried about that because my faith is strong. My faith is strong. I'm not worried about what man does. I'm not worried about what man does. Do I got a mask? I'm not worried about what man does. I'm not worried about what man does. At the end of the day, it will be God's will. The word says, thy will be done.
Well, I'm going to tell you like this. I believe exactly what you're saying, and I am a man of God myself, and that kind of shit, they could leave me with that. I'm not about that life. I ain't fucking with it. And like you said, thy will be done, and I have to put my faith in God and walk through the fire, which way it's going. I'm gonna leave you with
those with true faith, those with genuine faith, are not worried. I'm not worried because even if you go, you're going to a better place. So I don't understand what the fuck is all of this. Come on. When it's time, it's time. You can't do a motherfucking thing to stop it. When it's time, it's time. The more you worry, the less you enjoy life.
You know something? I can't even argue about that. I'm going to leave you with two things. And then I'm going to just, I'll talk to the people after this because there's a lot of things that you said that were absolute gems. I would personally like to know why you do not...
Say it again?
I want to know why you don't want to battle Eminem. I think that's a great battle. I think you got the two.
You know who I want to battle. I mean, I put it out there. I want to battle Jay. I mean, I was with Nori and I was like, I did call him my arch nemesis. I didn't mean it like that. You know what I'm saying? Because we all cool. But when you say do it for the culture, what better matchup than that? What better matchup than that? You know? At the end of the day, listen, I'm not worried about anybody. My catalog is crazy. My catalog is crazy. I'm not worried about anybody. You know what I mean? But you know who I'm going after.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. And this goes into the second question I was going to ask. Was there ever a battle between yourself and Jay-Z? Because there was rumors that actually happened in a pool room. I don't know if it was in your...
Yeah. Instead of asking me, ask him.
I want to know the result. I'm here with you. I want to know.
I mean, you heard about it, so you already know what the answer is. But instead of me answering that question, ask him. Ask him. Let's put it like this. He was with Original Flavor, and I was with Harlem Nights. You know what I'm saying? That was my man to them. Those was his man to them. And after the two men to them got their battle on, you know, we had our little situation. You know what I mean? Right. Put it like this. I ain't never lost a battle. I'm a battle rapper. I ain't never lost a battle. Ain't a motherfucker breathing ever say they wrap me up in a battle. Ever. Can't be serious.
Listen, I personally...
I started off battling. My first rap was a battle. What? Nigga, my first one. The first thing I wrote was a battle rhyme. Come on, son. I do this for a different reason.
X, I think that if you battle Jay on Instagram Versus,